Alright, so in this video we will learn that what is higher order component and how can we implement it. Well, basically higher order component is a function that takes a component as an argument and it returns a new component. And we use higher order component whenever we want to implement any kind of logic which is using which is repeating again and again inside all your components. So we can wrap that logic inside the higher order component and we can use the higher order component inside your component, right? So I will just tell you that how it all works, so it will start making sense in a few minutes. So inside the app.js we do have some routes, the route of login, which is the index route, and the route of dashboard, and the route of orders, right? And what I want to do, I want to implement the kind of protected functionality inside the dashboard and inside the orders route. So what we will do, we will assume that we do have a token inside the, let me just write it. We do have a token inside local storage, and we will check if token, then let the user access the protected route like dashboard or order, else redirect to login. So we will implement this functionality inside a dashboard and orders component, right? So for that we will do something like this. Let's fetch the token first from the local storage using the local storage.get item token, and we will say if no token, basically if there is no token present inside the local storage, then just return a navigate element of React Router DOM. Well, basically we have already covered this, that what is this navigate element inside our routing video of this React series, right? So we will pass a props to, and inside this too we will define a index route, and because on the index route we do have a login route, we do have a login component. Okay, so if I come over here inside the dashboard, let me just come over here, and if I write /dashboard, then you can see that it has redirected me toward the login route. It is not letting me access the dashboard component, because in the dashboard component we do have a heading of dashboard. And if we come over here inside the storage tab of our developer tool, and inside the local storage, if I come over here and explicitly set any kind of token, and then if I try to access the dashboard component again, then you can see that it has allowed me to access the dashboard component, right? So we will do the same with we will copy this and we will paste it inside our order component as well, orders. But there is one thing, that this logic is repeating again and again inside all your protected routes. So let's suppose, if I'm just giving you an example, if you have a route like 100 of routes, then you will be writing this logic inside all 200 routes. So for that we do have something called higher order component. So basically, like I told you, that higher order component is a function. So let's create a folder with the name of utils for a better directory structure, and I will write is protected .js, and I will define a function over here, is protected equal to, basically higher order component takes a component as an argument, so we will define the component over here, and it will return you a function. So this function is more like a functional component, and inside this functional component you can return a component like this component, right? And over here you can write all the logic which is repeating again and again inside your component. So I will just copy it and paste it over here, right? And let me just import the navigate, otherwise it will not work, right? And what we will do, we will export it and we are done. Well, this is called a higher order component. So it is a function that takes a component as an argument and it returns you a kind of a function component. And inside the function component, inside this function you can write all the logics, and then after that you can return that component which you are receiving from the argument, right? So it will be returned as a new component to the React. Okay, so we have write it, but the question is how can we import it inside our dashboard and order.js? Well, that is very simple. Let's just come here and remove everything, and inside where you were exporting the component, you can write something like this with protected. I think we have not right, it is protected, and inside the is protected you can wrap your component like this. So let's do the same with the order. It's protected like this. So let me just come over here and remove it, and now when I come over here, it is letting me access the dashboard component. Why? Because we do have a token inside our local storage. If I delete it and if I refresh it, then you will notice that it has redirected me toward the login component, right? Or you can say a login route. So this is how the kind of a higher order component works inside the React application. There is one more thing I would like to tell you, that inside the app.js, if I define any kind of props like name equal to Ministry of JavaScript, right, then we can come over here inside the dashboard.js and we can destructure our props name, and then let's just console.log the name. So let me just define the token again, token something, some value, and then let's try to access the dashboard component. Then inside the console.log you are seeing that it is returning me undefined, although we are passing the props inside our dashboard component. Then why we are not able to receive it inside our component? Well, this is because first you are redirecting your React application to your higher order component. So first it will be received inside your higher order component. So if I come over here, I already told you that this function is like a function component, right? So inside this you can destructure your props like this, and if I come over here and write console.log inside HOC and write name, then you will see that it is returning me. Let me just refresh it. As you can see that it is returning me Ministry of JS along with inside our HOC. And then the question is, how can we pass these props to the component? Well, that is very simple. You can do something like this, props, and then inside the component you can pass the props like this. Alright, now if I come over here, yes, let's just remove it, then you can see that we are getting Ministry of JS that is coming from the dashboard component. So as you can see right over here, we are consoling log the name, right? So this is how the higher order component works in React application. You can wrap it up any kind of functionality which is reusing in all the components. So for the better kind of direct structure, you can wrap all that logic inside the higher order component, and then you can use the higher order component inside your component, right? So I will see you in the next video with an amazing topic. Have a nice day.